Hello all. Today we will be discussing about MCQs on RBI circulars. These MCQs are much important when you are appearing for RRB GBO exams and all, not only for the GBO exams, but these are also important when you are appearing any lateral entry exams. Further, we will also be discussing banking, economy, and finance for monthly under monthly current affairs, and the compilation of these RBI circulars has already been shared in the group. The PDF will also be available to who are in the group, and the same answer of the same is also available with this discussion. And okay, we will be moving forwards towards our discussion. Here, this is this MCQ is for February 2024, and here is about myself. All of you might have come to know some way. Okay, we will be studying our RBI circulars. Further, the reference to the questions is also the reference to the circular is also given, so that you can quickly refer the circulars which are shared in compilation. Before you go through this question answer session, you must go through RBI circular compilation for the month of February 2024 shared in the Telegram group. Now the question number 1 is, very first question is, here is the reference circular. Circular was issued that participation of Indian banks on India International Bullion Exchange, IIBX. Keep in mind that the question can also be come into the form that IIBX. Then what B refers in IIBX? It refers bullion. Bullion means you can refer that is a gold. Especially it is for precious metals, specifically for gold. Now, according to RBI circular, which of the following can act as a trading member or trading and clearing member? Means trading member और trading and clearing members. ऐसे members जो trade कर सकते हैं या clearing कर सकते हैं, मतलब settlements को process करेंगे. That is also known as the clearing members. Who can act as this? A branch or subsidiary or joint venture of Indian Bank in Gift City can act as a trading and clearing member. What do you mean by Gift City? It is in Gujarat. That the name also starts with Gujarat. Gujarat International Fintech City. Now the question number 2. Indian banks authorized to import gold or silver can participate in the IIBX. Means ऐसे इंडियन बैंक्स, मतलब जो बैंक्स इंडिया के हैं, जिनके हेड ऑफिस इंडिया में है और इंडिया में ऑपरेट कर रहे हैं, specifically their head office to be located in India, then Indian banks which are authorized to import gold or silver can participate in IIBX. As in IIBX they can work as special category clients. The question can also be come into the form that SCC is a term used for the banks authorized to import gold and silver. What S is refers in SCC? Okay, then it is a special category clients. What is the main source of authority for RBI to issue this circular? Means under which power RBI issues this circular? we will be discussing this circular is actually giving the power RBI to issue directions. Any directions which is issued by RBI specifically is contained, okay, specifically contained in Banking Regulation Act 1949. In Banking Regulation Act 1949, under Section 35A, under Section 35A, RBI may issue the directions to the banks. RBI may issue directions under BR Act 1949 section 35. Specifically, you can say that 35A. Which type of banks does this circular does not apply to? Okay, means this circular won't be applying to which, because it is issued for the commercial banks, scheduled commercial banks. Okay, RRBs are excluded from this. So this circular won't apply on RRBs. Next circular was review of fixed remuneration granted to non-executive directors. Okay. What was the previous ceiling on annual fixed remuneration to non-executive directors? Okay. नॉन-एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर्स जो बैंक्स में अपॉइंट होते हैं उनके लिए आरबीआई ने जो लिमिट फिक्स कर दी है वो है at this time this is 30 lakhs. Earlier it was 20 lakhs. Why did the RBI revise the ceiling on new remuneration for this? To attract more qualified, competent individuals for the bank. This is not very important. This is just to know why this was this. Are the banks required to pay maximum allowable amount 30 lakhs to all non-executive directors? Okay. No. मीन्स क्या ऐसा है कि जितने भी नॉन एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर्स हैं उनको बैंक को 30 lakhs ही पेमेंट करना है? नो, द remuneration 30 lakhs is the maximum amount. It may be any amount between 0 to 30. Okay. The next question is, what are some factors that banks board might consider when determining any non-executive director's remuneration? Okay. The size and profitability of the bank is the main factor which will be deciding the remuneration. और size and factor केवल NEDs ही नहीं, employees का भी जो salary है ना, that also depends on size and profitability. You will see that SBI employees having some more remuneration as compared to other PSBs. Now, how often banks require to disclose remuneration paid to the directors? Okay. Banks disclose remuneration paid to the directors annually, that how much remuneration has been paid to these directors. Next circular in the, for the month of February was Rupee Cooperative Bank Limited has been removed from the second schedule of RBI Act. The only this factor is important, means Rupee Cooperative Banks, Rupee Cooperative Bank, okay, has been removed from the second schedule of RBI Act. Okay, which of the following has been removed from the second schedule? This is the correct answer. Rupee Cooperative Banks Limited. Interest equalization scheme. on pre and post shipment rupee export credit. The next circular was on this topic. Circular reference is given. And until what date has the government of India extended the interest equalization scheme? गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने इंटरेस्ट इक्विलाइजेशन स्कीम कब तक के लिए एक्सटेंड किया है? यह है जून 30, 2024। What is the interest equalization benefit of MSME manufacturing support exporting under any HS line? That is 3% is the subsidy, interest subsidy. That is the 3% under interest equalization scheme. What new restrictions applies to banks under the scheme for financial year 23-24? Uh, you know that the 23-24 has already ended. Okay. The average interest rate charge cannot exceed repo rate plus 4%. अगर बैंक रेपो रेट प्लस 4% से ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट चार्ज करते हैं तो दे कैन नॉट क्लेम द इंटरेस्ट सबवेंशन अंडर interest equalization scheme. Okay. Now, how does DGFT identify banks breaching the interest rate? मतलब DGFT को कैसे पता चलेगा कि इतना है? जनरली बैंक के पास जो डेटा होता है अकाउंट में वो ऑलरेडी डेटा इंटरेस्ट का भी अवेलेबल होता है. The data on interest is already available with the banks, that is available to share when as and when it is asked. See, if the bank repeatedly breaches the interest rate cap, then this bank will be debarred from the scheme. Means अगर कोई भी बैंक इंटरेस्ट रेट कैप को ब्रीच करता है और इंटरेस्ट इक्वलाइजेशन के लिए क्लेम कर रहा है तो उस बैंक को डिबार किया जा सकता है इंटरेस्ट इक्वलाइजेशन स्कीम से. मीन्स बैंक अगर एमएसएमई को लोन देता है तो वो इंटरेस्ट के उस लोन को इंटरेस्ट इक्वलाइजेशन स्कीम में काउंट नहीं किया जाएगा. What is the annual cap on the subvention amount received by exporter under the scheme? Means what is the maximum amount which an exporter can receive? The maximum amount is rupees 10 crore only. Means under the interest equalization scheme, and any exporter exporting any of amount, if it exceeds the interest amount, the subvention amount exceeds rupees 10 crore, then the maximum cap which is available as a discount to the exporter will be 10 crore only. Next circular comes inclusion of Clearing Corporation of India as a financial information provider under account aggregator framework. Uh, Why? Because this was issued in connection with RBI Retail Direct Scheme. The more important question is under this is the only second question. When was the RBI Retail Direct Scheme was launched? RBI Retail Direct Scheme was launched on November 12, 2021. What type of account can be opened under the scheme to invest in government securities? Retail direct gilt account is opened. RDG. This is important question. This may come into exam. RDG account is opened under the retail direct scheme. Why has Clearing Corporation of India has been included in the account aggregator framework? This is not important. Answer is given. You may study it. But to enable the aggregation of account of government securities means government security का की जो accounts हैं, जो account you hold securities account to aggregate the information. Financial information provider means bank, banking company or non-banking finance company, asset management company, etc. Which of the following has been authorized identified as a financial information provider? Recently, Clearing Corporation of India has been authorized as a financial information provider. फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन प्रोवाइडर एक्चुअली क्या है ना, वो आपके डेटा को शेयर कर सकते हैं, आपके डेटा को एसेस कर सकते हैं. शेयरिंग मीन्स आपके साथ. ओके, these are the financial information provider. Next circular in this amendment to master direction on prepaid instrument. This is the important circular. To provide convenience, speed, affordability, and safety of digital mode of payment to commuters for transit service, it has been decided to permit authorized bank and non-bank PPI issuers to issue PPI making payment across various public transport systems. The amount outstanding in such PPIs shall not exceed at any point of time. I will be telling its Hindi version. स्पीड और कन्वीनियंस और अफोर्डेबिलिटी के लिए, मतलब आप आराम से ट्रेवल कर सकें डिजिटल मोड पेमेंट को, ठीक है, ट्रांजिट सर्विस के लिए प्रीपेड नॉन बैंक प्रीपेड इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स को प्रीपेड इंस्ट्रूमेंट मतलब एक तरह से आप वॉलेट होता है जिसको चार्ज कर देते हो, उसको आप यूज कर सकते हैं ट्रांजिट सिस्टम में, ट्रांसपोर्ट सिस्टम में, ठीक है. लेकिन इस ऐसे प्रीपेड इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स में आउटस्टैंडिंग कभी भी ₹3000 से ज्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए. मीन्स द मैक्सिमम अमाउंट विच कैन बी अवेलेबल इन दिस प्रीपेड कार्ड इज ₹3000. अब आता है कि वाई ऐसा क्यों? प्रीपेड इंस्ट्रूमेंट में जो पैसा आप लोड करते हो वो एक्चुअली में कंपनी के पास रहता है. अगर आप ज्यादा पैसे लोड करते हैं तो ये इसके ही पास रहेगा और आपका आप you might not be using the fund at all and this will be as income for this. Further, the security in case of failure, जो छोटे मोटे नॉन बैंक प्रीपेड इश्यूअर्स हैं अगर वो फेल भी होते हैं तो आपका ज्यादा लॉस नहीं है क्योंकि ये किसी भी इंश्योरेंस से कवर्ड नहीं होता है. Other important MCQs on prepaid instrument. Up to what amount can a small PPI, ठीक है, विद कैश लोडिंग फैसिलिटी कैन इन सिंगल मंथ, ठीक है, तो सिंगल मंथ में स्मॉल पीपीआई केवल 10,000 तक का लोड कर सकते हैं. व्हाट इज द मैक्सिमम टोटल अमाउंट देन कैन बी लोडेड इनटू स्मॉल पीपीआई? स्मॉल पीपीआई 1,20,000 तक लोड कर सकते हैं. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग ट्रांजेक्शंस इज नॉट अलाउड विद ए स्मॉल पीपीआई? यू कैन नॉट यूज द गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज. सामान खरीदने के लिए प्रीपेड इंस्ट्रूमेंट ऐसे को यूज नहीं किया जा सकता. वाई? अवॉइडिंग money laundering. How long does a small PPI remain valid after it is issued? अगर कोई प्रीपेड इंस्ट्रूमेंट अगर आपको इश्यू किया जाता है तो वो कितने दिन तक वैलिड रहता है? ओके, नाउ it is 2 years. Okay, it expires after 2 years but it cannot be reloaded after 24 months, means 2 years. व्हाट इज द मिनिमम केवाईसी रिक्वायरमेंट फुल केवाईसी पीपीआई? फुल केवाईसी पीपीआई के लिए फुल केवाईसी कंप्लायंस एज पर आरबीआई गाइडलाइंस इज नेसेसरी. मास्टर डायरेक्शन ऑन केवाईसी, एज पर मास्टर डायरेक्शंस ऑन केवाईसी, फुल केवाईसी पीपीआई should follow. What is the maximum balance that can be held in a full KYC PPI? मतलब फुल KYC प्रीपेड इंस्ट्रूमेंट में ये रिवाइज होकर के अभी 2 लाख हो गया है, मतलब 2 लाख रुपए तक आप प्रीपेड इंस्ट्रूमेंट में रख सकते हो। ओके, अप टू व्हाट अमाउंट कैन बी ट्रांसफर्ड फ्रॉम ए फुल KYC PPI टू ए प्री रजिस्टर्ड बेनिफिशियरी। ओके, मीन्स KYC PPI से जो फुल KYC PPI है प्रीपेड इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स हैं, उनसे आप मैक्सिमम कितना अमाउंट ट्रांसफर कर सकते हो? दैट इज 2 lakhs, the same as the maximum available balance at any point of time in that PPI. Where can the cash be withdrawn from a bank issued full KYC PPI? फुल KYC PPI कैश जो है ATM से भी विड्रॉ हो सकता है और POS सर्विसेज से भी विड्रॉ हो सकता है। कैन फंड्स बी ट्रांसफर्ड फ्रॉम ए गिफ्ट PPI टू अनदर पर्सन? ओके, नो। If someone has gifted to you PPI or you got a PPI as a gift, you cannot transfer these funds, you have to use these funds. Now, MCQs on capital and eligibility requirements for non-bank prepaid instruments. What is the minimum net worth requirement for a non-bank entity to apply for authorization to issue prepaid instruments? 5 crore. 5 crore should be your net worth to issue prepaid instruments. How long does a newly incorporated non-bank entity how long does a newly incorporated non-bank entity, okay, have to submit a certificate regarding its current net worth? A, for net worth, when he is entity is applying, then by that time he has to send that net worth certificate. Who gives net worth certificate? The chartered accountant gives the net worth certificate. What is the minimum positive net worth that a non-bank prepaid instrument must maintain after 3 years receiving final authorization? Then it is 15 crore. Okay, initially it is 5 crore. Okay, but after 3 years 15 crore 15 crore to be 15 crore to be maintained at all times. When does a bank non-bank PPI issuer need to submit a net worth certificate? Is annually. Every year you have to submit net worth certificate to RBI. What is the validity period for any of such validity period which RBI gives? RBI कोई भी वैलिडिटी देता है इस तरह की तो उसकी 6 months वैलिडिटी रहती है। लाइक बैंकिंग लाइसेंस लेने का भी ऐसा ही था। What document must be submitted along with request for extension to submit a system audit report? Okay, written explanation for delay means अगर audit report आपकी नहीं आई है तो एक written application आपको देना पड़ेगा, why, what is the reason? Maximum time frame to commence the business after receiving the authorization. Okay, 6 months. 6 months is the टाइम, as in earlier question validity was the 6 month, तो 6 months में आपको कमेंस करना है, क्योंकि अगर आप 6 months में कमेंस नहीं करते हैं तो वैलिडिटी लाइसेंस की वैलिडिटी विल एक्सपायर, देन हाउ विल स्टार्ट द बिजनेस? ओके, हाउ विल यू बिगिन दैट बिजनेस? हाउ often does a non-bank prepaid instrument issuer, okay, need to apply for renewal? ओके, रिन्यूअल के लिए कोई टाइम फ्रेम तो नहीं है, देर इज नो सच टाइम फ्रेम, बट इंटिटी हैज टू अप्लाई रिन्यूअल एटलीस्ट 3 months बिफोर द ड्यू डेट। जो आपकी ड्यू डेट है उसके 3 months पहले आपको अप्लाई करना है। व्हाट इज द कॉन्सिक्वेंस ऑन फेलिंग फॉर अप्लाई फॉर रिन्यूअल ऑफ ऑथराइजेशन? आरबीआई विल डिक्लाइन दैट रिक्वेस्ट फॉर रिन्यूअल। ओके, what is the maximum monthly cash loading limit from issued by non-bank entities? Okay, मैक्सिमम कैश लोडिंग लिमिट इज ₹50,000। अगर कोई नॉन बैंक एंटिटी प्रीपेड इंस्ट्रूमेंट इशू करती है तो आप उसमें 50,000 से ज्यादा कैश की लोडिंग नहीं कर सकते। Answers not given separately, it is already mentioned which is correct or not correct. Okay, further the discussion on current banking and financial awareness will also be shared soon. The mock test link will be shared in the group. Okay, do study.